So, back at it, trying to fulfill the missions and level up at the same time. And I did say we were going to take this long walk up to the north just to go and build that hunting structure. I don't know whether it is still the same, but this right hand side used to be so full of blacktail that you could make yourself a lot of money and a lot of points going up the side there. So let's get on that. If we do happen to come across any coyotes that we can take with the bow, then we will do so. But our hunting has now turned really slow. Morning, buzzcat. Ow. So if we to lie down, there you go. The weather where I live, yesterday it was like sugar snow, and it was like it all day. But eventually the cat did come in for the night, and she's been let out twice so far today, and she has wanted to come pretty much straight back in, so I thought she'd fell out with me. For how long that she's been stopping outside. I mean, all this winter, right up until like last night, all she wanted to do was stop outside. And even when I brought her back in,
you know, I spotted some tracks earlier, close to where you're at right now.
all she wanted to do was go back outside. But you know, it was cold, it wasn't nice. I didn't think it was fair to leave her out in the snow. And I'm glad I didn't, because today's snow is not sugar snow. Yeah, we've got snowflakes that are like the size of a decent sized bumblebee, like, you know, they're big flakes. Oh, that was lousy. That was lousy, wasn't it? Hey, that properly snatched. It did. It properly snatched. But yeah, it's proper snowing today. Yeah, like these particle seed effects, like, you know, that's what the snowflakes are like, are where I am right now. But you know, I describe Nottinghamshire as the former home of Robin Hood, now just a home to robbing bastards. But my mouse feels very slippery. Don't know why. But yeah, Buzzcat decided to calm down and spend the night in here. I woke up and she's there on the bed at the side of me, which I suppose is nice to wake up to having a little bit of company, even if you can't speak the same language. But all she wanted to do as soon as I got out of bed was to go out, so I thought, okay, fine, fair enough. Let her out, went to check on her half an hour later, and all she wanted to do was come straight back in. So that was good. So she had some food in the dry and warm, and when she finished eating she wanted to go back out again, so I thought, okay, fine, let her back out again. Let her out for about an hour, went to the door, opened the door, and all she did was just come straight back in. So she must have got comfy last night, eh, Buzz? Decided it's a bit more luxurious in the house, sleeping in the warm rather than sleeping in a grass pile outside in the cold. Of course you're on the wind trail, you're never anywhere else other than on the wind trail. And I'm still angry with myself for not saving the piebald yesterday. Well, that's 2, 3, 4. Didn't even know they were there. I mean, we got one set of prints for a coyote, but otherwise didn't even know they were there. Question is are they running to or running from a feed zone? Looks like days gone by again. Looks like it used to be pretty heavy with blacktail down this right hand edge. Don't get me wrong, we've heard a couple, I've just seen that one running away, but it's not the big herds that used to be here, or at least in my game anyway. Seems to have become more bear than deer. But at least we're spotting animals, even if we're not particularly getting any good shots off. That's a decent size herd, look, 7. Looks like we have a volunteer for death duty. Much better shot than what we got on the bear. Thought it would have gone down by now. Catch. And then I've still got to go all the way back to find the blacktail. But yeah, 3 shots off this morning, 2 hits, 1 miss. But these may as well have been misses because of how long they're now taking. But like I say, it's what the game does. Anything and everything to interfere and slow your missions. Anything and everything. By the time I find, I mean, I don't have to look for it, don't get me wrong, but by the time I find that blacktail, the coyote feed time will be over and done with. Are you bullying me for some fuss, bust? Are you bullying me to get some fuss? You want a head rub? I'm getting all tangled up. But no, not the ideal way to start the day. There's definitely a good few bears in the area. I've just seen that one running across the back. What you doing, bushcat? Can't you get comfy? Can't you get comfy? Yeah. Need to go to bed. Well. 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 There you go. Go, get warmed up. That better? Meow. 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 Oh dear. Oh. Oh dear, dear. You know what she's going to do is come back and jump up again in a minute. Oh, let's make a smoke. But I didn't come back on for another stream yesterday because I couldn't stop yawning. And now the cat's back to sit on me. The thing I have to be careful with her about is that she likes to jump all over my computer desk, which means that my mouse and my keyboard get stampled all over and trampled, and but today I just feel tired. I'm not yawning as much as I was yesterday. Yesterday, after I had my evening meal, was ridiculous with the amount of yawning I was doing. Damn it. You know, they sell these as being really cool gaming mice and stuff. They're not. I would much rather have a simple mouse, you know. A simple 3-button mouse would do me great. You know, whoever designed these things, gaming mice, they were meant for kids or people with really small hands. And they're not meant for people like me. I don't have big long hands. I'm not like that. I've got hands like sledgehammers, like, you know, they're short and stocky, but they're way too big for a gaming mouse. But like I say, when I bought this, and it wasn't the only one I bought 3 of them. Not all the same mice, but I bought 3 gaming mice, and they've all come with this like string wrapped cable that is supposed to stop it from kinking and getting tangled and stuff, and it works. It doesn't kink and get tangled, but the bad news is it's a stiff cable, so if it goes up against anything like the monitor mount and so on and so forth, the damn cable pushes back. And it's not a hot push, it's not, you know, but it's enough so that you can't move your mouse properly and do things properly. and I wish I'd never bought the bloody things. I bought 3 of them, and all 3 do the exact same thing. They've all got extra buttons built into them and extra functionality built into them, and all they do is get in the way. You end up pushing buttons when you don't want to be pushing buttons. Mouse fighting back. No, I'm not going that way. And it's not their fault, don't get me wrong. You know, I spent my money. You know what they say about a fool and his money being soon parted. That's me. But you have these streamers that are extremely good at playing games, not denying their talent. And they're like, oh, I use this mouse and I use this equipment. You know, this is in the days when I was playing Path of Exile and you needed all the extra buttons because you was getting repetitive strain injury because of the button selection that they chose was not particularly kind to your hand, and how often you needed to be pressing those buttons. So you think, right, I'll reduce the RSI, I'll get the extra mouse buttons, I'll go and look up on my favourite streamer, see what he uses, blah 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 blah. You know, go out spending £60-70 on a mouse, and it's like, you know what, they ain't worth it. They don't make you play any better, they just, all the extra buttons get in the way. And you just end up more frustrated and a lot of money out of pocket. But I bought expensive, I bought cheap, and I bought middle of the road. And they've all disappointed. Oh, well, I was hoping it was going to be a blacktail spot, but obviously not. So if all you've got is a 3-button mouse, that's fine. You don't need anything more. You really don't. Does it need to have the rigid cable? No, not really. And as much as I loathe to say it, that the old Microsoft 3-button mouse is plenty good enough. It's got to be rabbits because I can't see them. making a whole heap load of noise and I can see nothing. But I bet you run away before I get my shot off. The game for this type of stuff is becoming too predictable in the way that it plays. You know the animal behaviour and what it's going to do, and all you're trying to do is beat it to it. And again, it's frustrating. And if you're not having a particularly great day, in the game, it's just got to keep on compounding it. And when it gets to that point, you know, you're just taking like that, like a desperation shot, just trying to hit something. But the mood of desperation has been put into you by the game. It's like I say, it's cleverly done. I can't deny it's cleverly done. But they need to be very, very careful with the slippery slope. Like I say, I was playing hardcore, I wouldn't even think of taking that shot that I took. I wouldn't have even wasted my time picking my gun up. But I see it happening with a lot of games now. And it is for the sake of repeating myself, but it is as if all game designers have been told to make their games as frustrating and annoying as possible. You can imagine it as being some ultimately all of the businesses in the world, ultimately they will all, apart from those people that are self-employed, but your famous type of brand names, ultimately they are all owned by 2 or 3 people. And it's almost as if they have decided amongst themselves and with their like-minded business people that they happen to be, you know, owners of the businesses that those people think that they own, but they don't. But it's as if they've decided that popular streamers, it's like, how come they've got 100,000 followers and we don't, and we're not as big as on social media as they are, and we're the people who, you know, control the world over, and so on and so forth. But It's as if they've just said, like, you know, we don't want big popular streamers. We don't want to promote people enjoying themselves playing games, because instead of going to work, they'll want to be a streamer. Yeah, and it's that. It just bugs me, man. It just really bugs me. Those people that are good at streaming are good at streaming. It's not the fact that they're good at playing the game. You know, a lot of them that are really good streamers, in my opinion, are not great gamers, but they make entertaining, good game videos for people to watch and learn from. But it's just like I say, it's just as if they don't want people to have fun. They don't want people to be successful at doing something like playing a game. You know, wherever your skill lies, it don't matter. But in order to try and make the game more difficult for streamers, they've made it more difficult for people to get into the game who's only just purchased it. So like I say, it's a slippery slope, and once you start going down it, you know, it's like being a brake going downhill with no brakes. At some point, you're going to hit the shit. And you've seen it now. Or I've seen it now. With a number of games. And yes, it does include this one, where developers have put something in and they end up causing an absolute massive outcry amongst their long-term players. And in this game it was that spook radius. And why did they do it? Because online streamers doing the grinds were making it look easy, and to them it is easy because they're good game players, but it's not easy to everyone. But because they're the ones who stream it and make it look easy, the game developers go, they're making a mockery out of this, we need to make it tougher. What can we do to make it tougher? And they made it tougher in the hope that it was going to slow down the streamers and make it more of a grind. Success to them, but how many people did they piss off in the process? You know? Those people who figured out herd management, you now have it being seen that because they'd worked it out, and like I say, games aren't as random as what you think they are, and because they'd worked it out and knew which animals to take out, that it would produce bigger and better animals for them, which is effectively what would happen in real life if you did herd management. You know, improves your bloodlines and so on and so forth, you get better class animals. So in a way it's accurate, but now people have sat there and screamed, you should not condone this, it's cheating. So, and you've seen that, if you like, get nobbled with the Great One Moose introduction, where the mooses seem to cycle around different zones so that you can't so that you can't herd manage effectively. And like I say, it's a slippery slope. And the game developers, sorry to say EW, but you need to figure out what's more important to you. People having fun, enjoying your game and making it look good, or you making it more and more difficult for average players. And let's face it, EW, your mediocre to your average players is where the majority of your money comes from. Think about it. I'm not saying you should make the game easy for us, not saying that at all, but you certainly don't need to be screwing people out of their money. And that's the slippery path that you seem to be going down. And it saddens me. If you want to make your game more difficult, add in a new species of animal that is known for being difficult to hunt. If I go by UK wildlife, probably the easiest animal to hunt, shoot, is probably rabbit. The most difficult, for me, personally, probably the minks, because even though I know we have the minks in my area of the country, I've never seen one. I know the further down south you go in this country, the more there is of a mink population. But you've got, well, my own personal opinion, you got more chance of seeing wild otters than you have of seeing wild mink. So, you don't need to, especially when it's something that people have got used to. Once people have gotten used to hunting something in a certain way on the game and they expect it to stay behaving that way, and then you change it, nah. And you change it in the guise of, we're just adding more realism to the game, which is possibly so, but it's not the real reason. And we both know what the real reason is. So I guess the question is do the popular streamers actually screw the game up for you? Not deliberately, no, not at all. Do the developers listen to the creators. Yeah, I think so. And I think they listen to them over the actual mediocre players. And we know that the developers support the creators because they get the early access and so on and so forth. But in reality, all those creators are doing is giving ammunition to the developers on how to make it more difficult, because they're trying to make it more difficult so that streamers don't make it look easy. And then, you know, like I say, unfortunately those younger people who aren't as talented at the game and so on and so forth, they get pushed out and they get frustrated and they're like, that's it, I'm not playing it no more. I mean, for a lot of people, this game is too slow. It's too long-winded, it's too much of a grind. And so to me it is ideal for somebody like me, getting to be old, my reactions aren't as fast as what they used to be and so on and so forth. And this type of relaxed game style, it suits me. But then there's elements in the game that just frustrate the hell out of me, and I can't imagine how frustrating it must be for younger people. And I suppose it's a good life lesson, you know, because if everything was easy, everybody'd be successful. And we'd all be rich, and we'd all be famous. You know, it doesn't work that way. You need challenges in life to progress and to develop as a person. And you have to take the good times with the bad times, the rough with the smooth. It's what makes your character and so on and so forth. And if you get frustrated with the game because it's too slow, you don't get the progress quick enough and you move on, well, you've learned your lesson that this game doesn't suit you. You know what I mean? So I'm just chuntering on. That's all I'm doing. Chuntering along. But it's like we used to have, going back years ago, when you know, 8-bit computers were all the rage. But we used to have adventure games where you used to have to type in what you wanted to do to, you know, go W for go west and so on and so forth. They weren't hard games, they were fun games, they had a good challenge value to them. And if you completed the game, you didn't get no massive fanfare, you don't get no gold medal or anything like, you know. You can just say, I beat the game. And you put it on the list of games that you have won. But they were developed to be won. You got the feeling that you was a winner. And I'm not complaining about this style of game. I like this style of game. This to me is an adventure game. But is it one that you could win? No. Does it have longevity? Yes. Will it hold my interest? I don't know. It has done so far for 2 years. Am I good at the game? No, not really. Do I enjoy playing it? 90% of the time. I do. And I can't deny it. But I also know that I'm never going to win it. And we all like to win at something. So, you know, if you're picking this game up, and if you're watching this series of streams thinking that this is going to teach you how to be a winner at this game, forget it. It's not. It's going to show you how to level up with missions. But once you've reached level 60, should you class that as that's it, I've won? Well, no, because you've still got more to do. If you get a diamond of every species on every map, have you won? No. You haven't, because then you've got the great ones to go for. If you play this game without herd management and without grinding, it will take you years. Or potentially will take you years to get every great one in the game. Do I like to watch people grinding and going for the great ones? Absolutely. Do I find it good entertainment? Yeah. Yeah, I do. Do I feel that streamers or successful streamers at this game, do I believe that they are not so much as kissing butt, but that they are holding back, that they don't show the frustration, or maybe they just don't feel frustration like I do. I don't know. Like I say, I have mental issues, and one of those is anger management. But if you've watched these streams, you would have heard me cussing on Hirschfeldon because of that environment. And yes, you do have a little bit of it here on Layton Lakes. Same sort of environment. But it's easier to navigate and it doesn't frustrate me, not like Hirschfeldon does. So, you know, as I keep saying, if you think the DLCs are going to make you a better player, they are not. Will they make your levelling up easier? Weapon packs? No. The only two DLCs that you pay for that make your life easier to level up in this game: tree stands and tripods and the tents. That's it. No other DLCs make your life any easier. Quad bikes, don't need them. We've proven that. I'm walking around or running around everywhere. You don't need the quad bikes. And in reality, you know, those quad bikes, I'll go for that one. That much noise and spook animals to such a large radius that you're probably doing more harm to your map and making it more difficult for you to zone it out. If you're going to use them after you've finished zoning out your map and you've got all of your zones and but then you still wouldn't be using the quad bike if you got the tents, because you can travel faster with tents than what you can with the quad bike. So nah. If you accept them as adding a little bit of spice into the game, you'll be fine. If you're buying them thinking that they're going to make the game easier for you, forget it. I suppose I ought to shut up rambling on. It's very easy for a game to fall victim to its success. But when I do go back to hardcore, because trust me, I will be going back to hardcore, you'll see the difference. Hardcore, you have to think things out a little bit more, and you put extra challenges into this game, and this game is challenging enough as it is. But when you look at all of the successful streamers that are out there streaming this game, as far as I am aware, there is not one who plays proper hardcore style. Not one. So I'm hoping that I have a somewhat unique type of aspect on the game. I'm not the only person who plays hardcore, and the chances are I won't be a successful streamer at hardcore. But there's not enough hardcore content for this game on social media. Do I think that people want to see hardcore? Yeah. Do I think it's what people aspire to? Probably not. Each to their own. But like I say, once this has been done, I think I already know the answer, but you know, scientific approach and all that, I just need to confirm it to myself. Will it translate over into hardcore play? Oh, yeah, probably. Do you need DLCs to play hardcore? Depends. You know, on which particular build, for want of a better word, that you want to get through hardcore. So yeah, you do need DLCs if you're going to do some crazy builds. So one of my, and I don't know whether it's mine, I don't think it would be, I should imagine somebody else has tried it at some stage or another. Oh yeah. But I have one what I call the William Tell Pioneer, which involves you having to level up and map your maps using a character that only uses the crossbow, no other weapon. So it's absolutely useless for doing missions, but it requires the tents, it requires the DLC for that, and it uses tripods. But the rule applies, you cannot miss. And like I've said before, on hardcore, the highest level I have managed to attain is 25. That's it. That's as high as I've managed to get before I miss. Wait. So a quick look here. I think it's that one. Shots fired, look. 1247. By the time you've finished getting to level 60. That will hopefully be somewhere in the region of about 2,000 shots fired. But yeah, hardcore is a lot more difficult, but at the same time it can be easier because you don't, like I say, depending on the build, you don't have the missions to contend with. So, oh yeah. But all I'm doing is buying up the actual hunting stands and hides, because they'll give me an extra 100 XP. And I am getting to the point where I'm pretty much, not that I'm dependent upon them, but because of the missions, even though it looks as if I'm just walking around doing diddly squat, in reality, even though I'm just going to buy these, it's because I'm only going out to buy them to see if I can find coyote zones. And to be honest, I think I've probably found the majority of the coyote zones. No, I probably haven't, thinking about it, no. Because I've not really bothered checking all of the lakes and stuff to find watering zones for coyotes at night. Because like I say, I don't like hunting at night. I don't mind zoning at night. I don't like hunting at night. I would like to do some bison hunting on Hirschfeldon. Just for the fun of it. But to be honest, as far as I know, red fox are the best to hunt, and coyotes for weapon score. for experience. I think the red deer. Ooh, there's a shack. Don't know whether there's an antler there, but some of these shacks have. Yeah, it has, look. It's got an antler. Can't tell whether it's inside or outside. But a little moose spike by the looks of that. And, I think red deer possibly give the most in experience. But you know, they all depend on the perfect shot. And the instant kill type of thing in order to get the maximum weapon scoring experience out of it. And again, you know, there is problems, or at least I consider them to be problems, with regard to what is considered to be a good, clean, ethical kill and sporting. And a lot of these doe animals or female animals in the game have no trophy rating. And so to me the quickest and the most humane shot is the headshot or the neck breaker. But you often find you score less on those than you do for doing a long shot and having to chase after an animal. But because you did a long shot, the game sees it as no, that's ethical, and your score drops down from being something like a 50 down to a 36. And yet you'll do a headshot and you'll score 34. Yeah, something's not quite right with the scoring system, but it's adequate, it works. And I think it would be nice if they added it to the game as to whether you was putting meat on the table or whether you was just after the trophy. Which I suppose it is there because you accept the animal or you save it and taxi it. So I suppose it is there in the game. So at least we've got a warning yap. push, push. Creaky old chair to go with my creaky old bones. Nice and warm. Yeah. To go to the shop in a bit and get you some more food. See how thick that snow is. Oh. But yeah, the grind is real and it ain't easy. And the first grind you have is literally levelling up. And the higher I am on levels, it seems to be the fewer animals that I see. Anybody for jackrabbit? How many more we got to build? That one there, one there. So, yep, just the two to get. Get those last two and go shop and get you some food. So I'm going to get these final two hunting structures, get them done and out of the way. Till 1400, we've got a chance it'll come back. So hopefully it will. Give it a squawk for a bit. Oh, that's the wrong one. We'll try that one instead. It'll work a lot better for coyotes, that one with. What's up, Grumpy? And I'm running low on D. doesn't seem to be wanting to come back. I'm going to disturb you in a minute, Pusscat. I'm going to disturb you in a minute. Because I've got to reposition my bum because it's going dead. Creaky chair moment. Oh dear. Yeah, I'm pretty much satisfied that is not coming back. Or that it's already back, ignoring the caller. That looks like a Rosie having a rest. Do I want to go up there and fetch it if I shoot it? Not really. I was hoping to just find a nice I was just hoping to find a nice pack of coyotes on a feeding spot so that I could possibly just attend a couple of times. Would have been nice. But all I seem to be finding is resting zones. I mean, don't get me wrong, I've got a good, or did have a good resting zone that did say it had a pack of 5. But they don't want to play. With the caller. You would have seen it in the stream. I've tried for a couple of days calling them and they just don't want to respond. And then they either turn up ridiculously late to their zones or just don't turn up at all. Yeah, Mac, how you doing, fella? So yeah, levelling up using no DLCs, just the base game. Using missions is definitely a grind. Yeah, I have been bang out of luck at finding coyote feeding zones. And they are so much easier. What platform I am on? The PC. And how about myself? Yeah, I'm not too bad. I'm a bit grumpy this morning. And I shouldn't be. You know, I've had a good sleep, I've had a good breakfast, but I still feel grumpy. But you know, I'm getting old, I'm allowed to feel grumpy. That's why they call us grumpy old farts, like, you know. So I'm just running around now building these. Oh, look at that, a piebald. Come on. Level 3. Not bad. I'll take that. I hope I remember to save it this time, not like the one yesterday. Spent a whole day, and again no organs hit. It's done all day, no organs hit. Here, have a run around. Thanks, game. Just what I've always wanted. Yeah, I'm having a grumpy day. EVs should be a gold, but might have knocked it down to silver with it not being a good shot. But we'll take a picture of him, since now I didn't record shooting him. And this time I have to remember to save the harvest. Wow, knocked it all the way down. But I'll save it anyway. At least we've got something nice out of this morning's stream. Yay, the fucked up landscape bit. Ow, 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 pusscat, you're sticking your claws in, puss. We'll get you some dinner in a minute. It's getting near to your feeding time. Yes, I am looking forward to being level 60 so I can squish it and start all over again. We've got one more to get, which is down here. And that is probably going to be I think that one's going to be the easiest route to get to it. So I shall get this last one. I shall take a break, go to the shop, get the cat some food. I might have to have a snack myself since I've had an early breakfast, and then we'll be back on it again. Spending money on structures for experience, because our animals are becoming more and more difficult to find. Well, they're not more and more difficult to find, not really. You've got your zones, you know where to go looking for them, but you know, not being active on your zones means that you're not particularly seeing animals as regular and as often as you did when you first started out. So we'll get this last one, pop over to Hirschfeldon, see if I've got any more to buy over there. If so, we'll buy those. We'll take any opportunity shots that we get, which, trust me, are few and far between now. But we're still picking up zones. So I say, all I seem to find is coyote resting zones. I'm not finding feeding zones. I want the feeding zones. They are so much easier to call on a feeding zone. as you can see, I am willing to take anything and everything at this point, just for the XP. Don't need the money, I just need the XP. Finding single animal resting zones is not good. It means a lot of for want of a better term, but a lot of messing about. I need to find a good quality pack of coyotes. And like I say, the only one I found is on a resting zone. But when I go to the resting zone, they're never there, they never turn up, or if they do turn up, they just don't respond to the caller and I can't see them. But if I could find a feeding zone like that, that would make life so much easier. Morning, Roosie. Yep, that was easy for you to say. Ooh, that looks like rotten landscape. Yeah. I can hear you steady, Eddie. But you ain't on the menu at the moment. This should be the final hunting structure. And it's a stand. Screw that. Oh dear. So make it stand up. Nice simple heart shot. Could see him where I was. This will say it's just trickle feeding animals now. So I guess it means I've got to do some contour hugging and finding more zones. Whoa, those antlers were seriously wobbling. So, looking for anything green. And I cannot see anything. So, fast travel to there. Go over to Hirschfeldon, because I can't remember whether I bought all the structures on Hirschfeldon or not. Oh, we've still got plenty to buy on here, look. So, yep, that's where we are, running around, buying up hunting structures and just taking any opportunistic kills. We don't have to worry about missions on Hirschfeldon, we've done them all. So it is a reasonable point for me to take a break. We are almost 2 hours of streaming, and probably a good hour of that is me complaining, but hey ho, you know, such is life. I'm a grumpy old fart, I'm allowed to, leave me be. So, go to the shop, get this cat some more food, get me something to snack on, make more tea and all that type of stuff, and then I'll be back again. So, I'll be back shortly, but for now, yeah, I'm scooting, so bye for now.